Photoshop 4B, Shade. Here's two pictures of bamboo, very dynamic background, but something's wrong with the one on the left. There's no shadows. And even though it has shading, it doesn't have the same sense of dimension. For today's exercise, I want you to put the shadows back in and make them look as realistic as you can. When a straight line falls across a curved shape, it bends. These palm fronds are not bent like this. That's because of the shape of the object. This is shadow from another piece of bamboo. The bamboo is straight, the shadow gets curved. So how do we do that? Go to the Photoshop document and we'll bring up brush. And I want shape dynamics and a fairly small shape. I'm going to do a trick here. Instead of making the cover transparent so you can see the stuff underneath, I'm going to make it solid and then use the layer control to make it transparent. As you can see things through the shadow. The shadow doesn't obscure everything. It's not black. In fact, it's going to match the tone on the shaded edge. What's special about the shadow is it has hard edges. Another object is blocking the light, and that's what makes the hard edge. So this is much more like the drawing we're used to, only we're going to do one trick at the end. So I'm going to start with this one up here. It starts just below this black piece, goes up, and then I get some few leaves coming down here. I'm going to leave my brush there so I can see what I'm doing. So it's going to start about here and go up. Quick motion, not an exact copy. I think I can make it more curved than that though. It's a very simple, quick motion. I know it looks dark, but I picked my color this way. Went down to a mid-tone in the shade, picked that, said OK, set the opacity to 100% and the flow to 100%, turned off the airbrush, and the only thing I'm using is shape dynamics. Because what I want now is clear, crisp lines. So about right here it comes with a shadow and there's going to be a highlight available there. So it's got a little curve and down. And then this is straighter because about like that. I can make it a little bit bigger. We're going to come back and fill this later. What it needs to be is a solid, graceful line. And then another stem there. There's a slight leak of shade there. And then we'll fill out the rest. I know this looks pretty fake right now because you can't see anything through it. It's intentionally opaque. I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger for the filling process. And I'm intentionally taking this off the side because I can always come back and erase. Hard eraser, 100%, no airbrush. I want to leave this edge intact. Likewise on this side. Now that basically looks like a shadow. The difference is the transparency. I can't see through it at all. If I've got the right color and I lower the transparency, I should be able to match it. So the shadow's definitely there. It's got hard edges to it. It curves because it's hitting a curved shape, but it doesn't hide everything in between. There's these shapes, a big fat one down here. Mark it as best you can, and then there's a tiny little one in here, and make sure it bends along this level. This shows the little shape here because this bends in, so it affects the way the shadow goes. Do this as realistically as you can, starting by matching the color on the dark shade, drawing it completely and evenly, 100% opacity, and then using the fill control to set it until it looks right to you and it matches the other shadows. You see a lot of other shadows in here. Now this will have a lot more dimension. Be sure that you save your finished piece as a JPEG after you put in all these shadows. I want to see one here, 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 and a little one down here.